Yeah, just to give you a flavor of what it was like in support in those days, when we did a build for a customer and shipped software to a customer, the computer system was very unique. So the brand of disk controller, the amount of storage they had, the amount of memory they had, the version of CPU that they had, all of those were factors in the build. So no two customers had exactly the same hardware, and that was very common. So when we did a build, it's basically a unicorn. Every build for every customer was unique. And we print out what we called a link map. So essentially, if something went wrong, it's how we go back and navigate to pinpoint what the problem was. So we'd have to sit down with paper, understand the evidence of what happened when there was a failure. We didn't have a lot of information to go on, and we'd have to go through and do a code review to find out where the problem might be. And then we can go off and do some testing, see if we could reproduce the problem. Very, very time consuming. So support, a small team of support people that are engineers like myself, the developers, we'd sit down and come up with ideas of how can we put more clues into the product. So if something fails, we get more insight faster and we're able to solve problems faster. And, that continues to this day. We have a lot of diagnostics built into the product, and we started with diagnostics back in those days. It's come so far now. If there's a process failure in our software, we can identify exactly what went wrong through automated tools 90% of the time, and identify the fix for what went wrong. So with the advent of AI, now we're looking at how can we apply AI to also accelerate support and accelerate how responsive we are to customers. So AI, you could look at from many different contexts, but from a analysis standpoint, now's the perfect time to really start applying that type of technology. It's not perfect, but it's getting better at a much faster pace than any of the previous generations of AI or machine learning. For example, if a customer logs an issue, we're looking for similar issues. We're using natural language processing from a generative AI standpoint in order to do that. So we're doing that internally. We're not taking customer data and sharing it out in a public cloud or anything like that. We have controls in place. At the end of the day, from a customer standpoint, it's not about service. It's about getting what they need. Solving a problem fast, getting an answer, getting a recommendation. If the surface is there, that's the icing on the cake. But if you can't solve the problem quickly, that's the cake. You call your bank, you're calling for a reason. I call my credit card company, I'm calling for a reason. I'm calling, my lawn service, I'm calling for a reason. It doesn't matter if it's a software company or any type of company. We're more a business-to-business type of company. We're not business-to-consumer. So it's a little bit different for us. But I think if you look at customer service, from 4 different layers, one layer is high touch. It's kind of the Nordstrom model, which I think everybody can relate to. Inner systems has always been high touch. I don't rush people to solve. I don't rush people to close issues. I hope they solve them fast. I don't rush people to get off the phone for somebody's calling in. I want my people to spend time with the customer and try to understand what they're trying to accomplish, because that's a better conversation and it enhances the conversation rather than just solving an issue. You could do that with the low volume of work. You could scale up and add more people if you need to continue that high-touch experience. The next experience is maybe a layer down. If you're supporting an application, you're going to get more, you're going to have a higher volume of requests coming in. And there you can use tools. You can use a knowledge base, for example. You could have some people that are experts in one part of the solution, some people that are experts in the other. But they tend to be shorter transactions. And then you have kind of low-touch context. So by low-touch, I mean developer buys our database in Amazon, and they're using it. We don't know who they are. They're going to read our documentation. They're going to go to our developer community, and they might call support occasionally, but probably not. They're probably going to use all the other channels, meaning documentation, communities, online learning, for example, those type of channels to get what they need, get a problem solved, answer a question, give them a recommendation. And then the final layer would be completely digital, where there is no human interaction. They're never going to call you. So the product has to make suggestions. If they're reading documentation, they need to find what they're looking for fast. If they're taking a course, they need a mini course that helps address whatever they're looking for at the moment. Those are the people that never call you. I think that's the era we're heading into now, where we have this high-touch support organization. It's been in place for a long time. We have a great reputation for high-touch support, but we have to adapt to make sure all the other channels, whether it's a completely digital channel, a low-touch channel, or a medium channel, that customers can navigate through to get what they need as fast as possible, without a lot of rigmarole and wandering around and trying to understand how to find something. So we've put a lot of effort, not just over the last couple of years, but many, many years in education. We went completely online. We have thousands of classes that people can take online. We have 100,000 people, learning every single month. So it scales up and it gives that easy access to people that just want to learn. The whole stack, from a customer standpoint, has to be an excellent experience. It has to be just as good as that high-touch experience.